All services that HMM provides contain its principle to underline the trust and the dedication to customers.
When I took over the position of President and the CEO of HMM in March 2019, the market continued to compete on low freight rate due to vessel oversupply and oil price remained high. HMM, which had a weak cost competitiveness, was in deficit for 15 consecutive quarters since the second quarter of 2015. As a result, HMM did not have a strong credibility among the shareholders and the industry. In addition, the application of IMO environmental regulation was in place for less than a year at that point, and everything was uncertain. Despite all uncertainty, we had a big goal of realizing operating profit in near future and making HMM a world's top-class shipping company. In order to do that, we focus on improving the corporate structure to establish a structure that can generate continuous profit for HMM. We reduced the unnecessary paperwork and conducted a cyber meeting. In particular, we implemented the TDR, what we call Tear Down Redesign, cost reduction project, which aimed to improving the profit, $50 per TEU, efficient fleet management, and securing high profit cargo. We set goals higher than our business plan and pushed the forward strongly. We thought it would not be easy under the uncertain circumstances, but the effort of HMM employees had the effect of improving our 2019 sales result beyond expectations. The decision for new building was made by former management. However, as I know, the year 2018 was in a situation in which the earnings of shipping companies were polarized depending on the vessel competitiveness due to the continued global economic downturn and the vessel oversupply. Prior to the decision to place the order, major global shipping company had already secured the market share through the M&A between carriers and the fleet enlargement, while leading in competitiveness in operating cost and dominated the market. Hence, HMM, as Korea's leading ocean container carrier, pushed the orders for ultra-large container ship to build fundamental competitiveness through the fleet competitiveness and operational efficiency. In addition, HMM predicted that the cost competitiveness gap between shipping companies would occur depending on whether or not to react to the IMO SOX environmental regulation implemented from 2020. With the installation of a scrubber on new container ships, expectation on reducing fuel cost and high fuel consumption, efficiency worked as one of the major factors in ordering decisions. Especially at the time of 2018, the new building price was at the lowest level since the year 2000. Therefore, HMM believed it was the right time to secure eco-friendly, high-efficiency fleet at a competitive cost. In 2020, despite many hardships, HMM achieved a great result with its first operating profit surplus in 21 quarters. Looking at the quarterly performance, the first quarter was a very difficult period due to the aftermath of the Corona-19. I had to worry about the sharp drop in shipping volume. In addition, the contract with the 2M practically ended at the end of December 2019. And because we joined the new alliance, the alliance as April 2020. The first quarter in 2020, with the absence of the alliance, we were able to survive through the cooperation with our fast partner 2M and the new alliance. Then demand supply reversal began at the second quarter, and the market demand surged, centering on the U.S. route. In particular, from the April 2020, 24,000 TEU container vessels were sequentially put into operation, and the full-fledged activities as a member of the D Alliance began. improving the cost structure through the joint operation with the member companies, and maximizing profitability by increasing the collection of the high-margin cargoes. The pandemic continued in the third quarter, but the container market continued to rise due to unexpected demand. In the fourth quarter, the strong market conditions centered on the East-West Ocean routes led to a shortage of container boxes in other regions, leading to an increase in the market condition for all routes. Besides the container business, in the bulk sector, which accounts for about 10% of HMM's sales, dry bulk cargo volume declined sharply, but showed some recovery from the third quarters. In particular, in the wet bulk sector, starting with the 5 newly secured VLCC in 2019, we secured the profit by signing long-term and short-term charter contract in the first half of 2020. In retrospect, 2020 was a crisis for HMM, but it was a year like no other, as the saying goes, success is where preparation and opportunity meet. HMM's filling is split with the latest and the most fuel-efficient ship through delivery of 5 VLCCs in 2019, 12 24,000 TEU container vessels in 2020, and 8 16,000 TEU container vessels in 2021. For example, 24,000 TEU container vessels have never before seen price competitiveness, eco-friendliness, and fuel efficiency. The latest technology and the strategies to increase the vessel size have shown great result, and this result was expected to continue in the future. One of the biggest reasons for container ship success in 2020 is high freight rate. The recovery of shipment from Southeast Asia and China starting in the second half of 2020 due to increased level of spending drove high freight rates, and this recovery is expected to continue until the Chinese New Year 2021. In addition, retaliatory consumption once the COVID situation settles down is expected to increase the overall levels of consumption, so demand could be better in 2021 compared to 2020. However, depending on the COVID stabilization by the vaccine supply in 2021 and the change of spending pattern from goods into the service, freight rate could stabilize downward. To prepare for the uncertainty, HMM will act agilely as we aim for sustainable and successful management in 2021 through effective alliance coordination and the introduction of 16K TEU vessels. Currently, HM has scrubbers installed on 89% of its fleet. Scrubber installation were part of the investment reviewed since 2018 in cooperation with the many Korean partners, including KOBC. Due to the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, there was a decline in global demand of the goods and consequently fall in oil price. But oil price was expected to rise again gradually with the spread between HSFO and the LSFO, recovering to nearly $100 recently. HMM's bold and preemptive scrubber installation was an excellent and effective way to achieve eco-friendliness requirement of IMO and at the same time profitability. In addition to the above investment, we plan to continuously review future strategies, especially for new vessels such as scrubbers and alternative fuels like LNG, biofuel, and ammonia gas. To this end, HMM significantly reinforced its R&D team last year for the more agile responses. Responding to the IMO's regulation of the reducing vessels' GHG emissions by at least 50% compared to the 2008 by 2050. HMM's 20 new large container vessels were built LNG ready for quick responses to the future regulatory changes. Furthermore, biofuel is also being researched heavily, and HMM has shown its dedication by signing an MOU in August 2020 with the Korea Bioenergy Association, Hyundai Heavy Industries, and the Korea Register. When I took over as HMM's president and the CEO, I saw HMM's potential for successful turnaround. We were planning for new large container vessel deliveries as well as installing scrubbers to the existing fleet. Should this decision prove to be successful, I believed HMM could gain much more competitiveness in the industry. Ever since the inauguration, I focused on resolving the alliance issue before joining the alliance. Through it, successful slot exchange happened and together with the company-wide TDR campaigns, profit maximization and cost cutting were made possible. Such principle-driven decision making prepared us for the quick turnaround, despite of difficult in 2020. Additionally, various external factors had a role to play in creating such a fast and large turnaround. It is undeniable that factors such as international oil prices, COVID-19, consumer sentiment, and the vessel blank sailing were important in shaping HMM's current turnaround. However, nobody could predict any of these changes, nor create them. As mentioned before, correct decision-making laid the groundwork for seizing the opportunities when they arose, and this is what we continue to do in the future.